Hi everyone. Welcome to today's show. Welcome to Abby's YouTube channel. And today we just thought to talk about long distance relationship and and tips and maybe tricks and maybe thoughts from us on how you can make it work and if it's even possible for it to work. Knowing that we're in a you know, we're all in a world facing a pandemic whereby we've experienced things that are quite novel and has had to scrap a lot of plans, scrap a lot of plans and
We're learning to navigate.
navigate it, yes, and as for some people, even made their chances of seeing the people they love widen. You get, and has made some people to sort of like spend the last few months in a very long distance relationship. Some people maybe have had to even break up because of that. And maybe some people are considering such thoughts. So we just thought to ourselves, how about we just help out and share our thoughts on that?
Yeah, considering the fact that we also had like 3 years long distance relationship, we just felt like, oh, we might be able to chip in one or two things that might be able to help someone's relationship.
Yes, we just thought to do that. So, how do we do this? First of all, is long distance relationship possible in this COVID period?
Yeah, I believe it is. I believe it is. Um, yeah, you just have to, if you believe that you can make it work, then yes, you can put in the work because it's possible. We've done it 3 years, and or we did it for 3 years, and I feel like if you have the ability to put in the work and you're committed to making it work, then yes, you can. It's very challenging, not being able to see your partner, not even especially in terms of communication and all of that. But yes, it's something that is doable.
Yeah. I like what you said when you spoke about, that commitment to making it work. To be honest, it's not necessarily an easy ride, but if there's that commitment between the two of you, I understand that there might be obstacles like time zone differences, being in different countries, working at the different times, and having maybe different mood swings and fatigues and all those kind of things, but then there is that commitment, and I think again is you guys should be friends. And I have my reasons for that. I feel like one thing is for them to be friends. What do you think?
Yeah, friendship is really important to me,
Sorry.
and I believe it should be important in every relationship. And I also want to say that it's not just enough to be friends, or before you can even know if you can put in the work, you should know if you're actually meant to be together. We made a video earlier. You can check the channel. It's about how to know your partner is the one. So number one, if you know your partner is the one for you, of course you should know that the boat won't be so smooth and cozy and nice. So that means because you know your partner is the one for you, then you can then move forward in faith to commit to making it work. And then you can move on to say, okay, because we're friends, let's look for avenues to make it work.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, because you guys know that you're meant for each other, and you've taken to the Lord in prayer that there are words that you would have received that would literally be like things you hold on to in those very shaky period of things that shouldn't. During those periods to help you sort of like sail through. My question for you is. I know that communication is a major thing in long distance because that's all you have in long distance relationship because you can't see yourself, you can't even feel each other's pulse. So what you have at that time, the biggest thing that connects you guys is how well you communicate at that time. So what do you think? How do you think people should be communicating, or should how should they communicate effectively during a long distance relationship?
Like we've already established, communication is really important in any relationship. Then it's importanter in a long distance relationship because number one, how you communicate and how you're very involved in the other person's life will give you a picture, and help you make excuses at times when you should make excuses, because the excuses you're actually making are actually genuine things happening to the person. So let me give you an example. So for example, if the person you're dating has not called you all day, because you had already communicated, because she has communicated his plans to you, making you know that, oh, I'm going to be really busy tomorrow, I have a shoot here, I have to work extra hours, the person has already made you know. So if the person doesn't call you all day, you have an idea, oh, he said he's going to see his mom, then from his mom's place said he has a shoot, okay, so maybe that's why he has not called, or maybe that's why he has not responded to my message. Because if that's not in place, if he didn't tell me all of those things before he stopped replying my chat or something, I can easily think that, oh, it's a Saturday, he's probably with a girl, or he probably went to the movies. Yeah, we used to do movies on Saturdays in Nigeria when I was there with him, so he probably took another girl. It's easy for us to build up thoughts in our mind if communication is not effective and if it's not properly done. Another thing I can say about communication is try as much as possible to include a lot of video calls as much as you can. Live social media or apps and all that has made it really easy for us to connect. So yes, things like WhatsApp, things like even Zoom now, Google Meet,
Teams.
Teams.
If you want to.
There are different ways for you to video call your partner to ensure that you guys still is. So it's like you cannot touch the person, but you can see. You can see what the person's office looks like.
Even though not accurately.
You can see. Oh, I'm in traffic. Let me just show you. I'm in traffic. Some of those things actually help the mind from going extra while.
Assuming.
Yeah.
From assuming, I think one other thing in that is. In communication, transparency is also very key.
Yes.
You get, and I think that's what you really tried to sort of explain. I have another thought on this. Maybe just to play devil's advocate on this. I'm not devil's advocate.
Good.
No way, I can't even be. It's not in my gene. You understand?
Good.
But just to add some sort of perspective, another perspective to this conversation is this: how about when? It's COVID period. Many people are in their houses. They are working, so there's no traffic there. But I'm in traffic. I'm in a hurry. That's why I couldn't pick your call or respond to your messages. Like the spectrum of excuses have collapsed. So you can't give those excuses again.
Yeah.
When in the real sense, what you were just trying to do was to have your me time. So, and how do you communicate that to your partner when? That having your me time is not something they want to hear because they want it to always be we time. So how do you communicate that? I just wanted to have a me time.
I think that the best way to communicate that you want a me time is to communicate that you want a me time. Because without you letting me know what you want, I will be assuming, is it that he doesn't like me anymore? Did I do anything wrong? Is he chatting with another girl? Is that why he's not responding? I feel like the best way to communicate is to communicate. Let me know, oh, I just want to take some time, like this evening, I just want to switch off my phone or put it on do not disturb because I just want to be alone and just think about some things. And I'm going to have to respect that and probably give you that what's it called? And trust you that's actually what you're doing. And then afterwards, then I can ask you, oh, how was your me time? Was there a reason why you wanted a me time? Was I disturbing you? Is there any other thing we need to work on? And then you can even help your partner by saying, oh, it's a me time, but when you get to the place you're doing your me time, you might just choose to maybe send a picture or have a quick video call, say, I'm here now, I'm in my room now, I'm just about to settle in. Or you can even at intervals you can just do maybe like, even though it's a me time, you can just say, okay, the next 5 hours or in the next whatever time, let me just see my baby's face for 30 seconds. I just say I should show you my face.
I do a lot here.
Yeah. I just want to show you my face and let me know what's going on.
And then I think just there's some moments whereby we were just like, maybe I want to do this for like 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, call me just to wake me up, or maybe I'm sleeping, or I'm trying to structure my day, and I want you to sort of like be my accountability partner.
Yes.
So that way the person feels like they know what you're doing for the day, even though they are not there.
Yes.
I think that's one thing that we sort of like try to do, and it sort of helped us even to the point of setting prayer times. Interestingly, there's this because my phone sort of like syncs into my email, obviously. But then I think recently I got a notification on my phone that was telling me that, time for prayers. And I was telling her that's like, because that's the time we pray every day. every week, while I was back in Nigeria, you get, and it was still reminding me that yes, you guys have time to pray while I work. We don't move. We they
Go
do
update yourself.
we don't do this thing every day. We don't do it once a week again. Then you understand. I think one thing that maybe they can add, maybe you can have give some thoughts is, I think one thing we tried to do was to make some moments special. Like you say, going on a date or having movies together. I mean, what do you think about that? I think we've done that once or twice or a couple of times.
Say, okay, so we're both going on a movie date, even though we're not together, which is, oh, yeah, I'm seeing this particular movie and you two should see this particular movie at this particular time. Have a drink with you, have popcorn.
Yeah.
We're just going to be watching it together and just going to be laughing, just enjoying ourselves. I mean, dropping commentaries just like we're beside ourselves.
Yeah.
And another thing I would like to also quickly add is set boundaries around yourself. So for example, even though your partner is not there, don't go to events that you know that if your partner is there, you will not go. Why are you going there? What are you looking for? Your ex is sending you message that let us meet up, and you two you are considering meeting up. Are you normal?
It's something wrong with
Is something doing you?
Yeah, I think these are some cards that you need to sort of like lay on the table so
yeah.
that you don't.
And transparency, like you said, like, oh, my ex just called me, say we should meet up. Let your partner be aware, not because you cannot handle this, but then because
it's just good to be accountable.
And then another thing is, apart from setting the boundaries, it's also called being around people that can look after you. So for example, you've told your mom about your partner, your siblings know your partner, and they are good people too. So in short, when they start seeing you around another guy, they are like, it's like this guy's getting too close. It's like you speak about this guy too much. Bigger you want to people to actually checks and balances.
And I think that's one fantastic thing about our relationship, because there were times whereby I think maybe I had issues with my phone and I couldn't tell I had issues with my phone, so she tried reaching me on the point she tried me on social media, even to the point of sending me an email, then calling my siblings, and because we're all sort of like one family, was able to communicate that hey, this is what's going on. When I saw the email, just responded, and then the call came in and then we had the conversation. It was pretty good, because this is, I think, one thing that makes it sort of those things easy for you to do is if you've decided, like we started with, that you are in this thing seriously and for the long haul and are not here to play, it makes it sort of easy to come up with some of like innovative ideas to help you guys without any drawback. Like, hey, what if it doesn't work? I think it sort of helps out.
Yeah, it does, it really does.
Yeah, do you have anything you want to say to those who are currently just considering dropping out or feel like, hey,
I just want to say that if you believe that that's the person for you, then please try your best to put in the work. It's possible for it to work. We were thousands of miles away for 3 years.
It's months away.
Yeah, months away from each other. If you want to go by road or by sea or whatever, it's months away. Even by flight, it's about 12 hours. So it's not beans. But then if you're committed and you know that's the person for you, it can work. You don't need to train the toe just because of long distance. And then I noticed also that there are some things we cannot see directly right now, but it's
why did you touch on it when you said see?
Like see. Cannot see right now.
I see you now.
But then God has seen it all, right? God has seen it all. So just trust God also through the process.
Yeah, so my friends and everybody,
family,
I think the word is it's possible. Yeah, long distance relationship is possible so long as you guys have committed. I mean, it's a joint partnership. It's everybody has to be together to sort of make it work. So guys, that's about it. Take care of yourself and
please subscribe.
Subscribe as well.
Thanks. Bye.